everybody, and welcome back to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, where I'm going to be basically doing two things. One, talking about my hopes for Black Ops 6 Zombies, now that we have a little bit of the information. And two, getting the Golden Enigma camo on the last Modern Warfare 3 weapon that I need to unlock it on, that being the AMR-9. So we need to get all of these challenges done, and then exfil with this weapon, and then we're good. As for if I'm going to be getting Borealis, I'm going to attempt to get Borealis in Modern Warfare 3 weapons. Bioluminescent, I don't think I'm going to be able to get due to how many weapons there are. Because remember, it's all of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons. Thankfully, there are some weapons I do plan on skipping. I already did all of the melee weapons. I'm going to do all of the Modern Warfare 2 melee weapons. I'm going to do all of the Modern Warfare assault rifles, battle rifles, SMGs, shotguns, LMGs, marksman rifles, sniper rifles, so on and so forth. I'm not going to be doing the Pila, the Joker, or the straight up P. I will be doing the RPG, because the RPG is the easiest of the launchers in Modern Warfare 2. I've already done the Stormender and the RGL, and they're fine. I might not do the Stormender... Borealis, just due to the fact of it is a painful experience. But I got it at least gold. I think getting them at least gold, most of the weapons gold, is basically my goal. The Strela P is probably like the only one I'd say is doable. Same with the Pila. The Joker is just so abysmally bad in zombies. I have no interest in doing it. But I'm going to try and at least get every single weapon the golden camo. Maybe, and then work on trying to get Borealis or everything else. For all the Modern Warfare 3 stuff. I have no promises on that, but it's not necessarily because I don't want to do it. Or because I think the zombies is bad. It's just that there's so much and I want to have time to play the actual game, because I still have the Act 4 stuff I need to do, and I'm basically want to see if I can get into do a collaboration type thing with this, because this is a lot of work apparently. Just to get them done for the story-based stuff. That's really the reason I want to do them. But regardless, we're gonna hop on in. As you can see, I ended up getting the camo from Get High for getting all the 12 coins. Sub 10 minutes, I don't think it's possible, but I got the better of the 3 camos anyway, it's fine. I know the other one has like the grid, synthwave grid that's like, changes color. I'm not huge on it, I'm gonna be honest. It's a little too in your face. This one is too, don't get me wrong. But, my main thing is for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. I think on paper, this mode has a lot going for it, and it is the most unique experience we've ever gotten, for the sole fact of it's something different. That's what I really have passion about in zombies in general. Isn't necessarily the same old stuff. I prefer traditional round-based. I do. I prefer it from like the days of Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 4 type round-based zombies. If I had to choose specifically round-based zombies to go off of, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, that kind of era where it's typical zombies, that like peak section. I know a lot of people don't like Infinite Warfare. I decently like it. I've kind of come around to it recently. Maybe I'll do a video on it. If you want to see a video on Infinite Warfare Zombies, let me know. No promises, though. Just leave a like if you want to see more from me. And also subscribe. I upload every single day. I think Modern Warfare Zombies has this issue where it is basically just DMZ, but with zombies, which... yeah, I understand that's not for everybody. I think it's something different. I do have problems with it. I think the extraction-esque nature of it is very not great. Basically, meaning if you crash, if you lag out, if you crash, your internet dies, you lose power. Anything that causes you to leave the game without exfilling, you lose everything, and you have to wait so long to do it. Like I think I actually just now I'm thinking about. I think I didn't actually infill with anything, so we're gonna have to actually prep properly. Regardless, we'll worry about that as we play. But you get the idea. It's like... it's got so many problems that kind of hinder it. Yeah, I didn't infill with anything! I'm stupid! It's fine. We'll play it normally. We'll play it like we would normally. More fun that way.
Not far from you. It could be nothing, but I wouldn't bet on it.
Strike team, get eyes on. We need to know what's happening in our backyard.
Yeah, we could easily just do some easy bounties and stuff like that. do some outlasts, get some get prepped, get perks and everything, a whole 9 yards. But it has a lot going for it. I think this whole idea of a big open map like this is fun. I think the forced online nature, not great. I'm gonna be honest, it's part of the reason why it's literally the reason why a lot of the Act 3 stuff and also grinding out this camo is taking so long is because that whole issue with my internet that happened not too long ago, back in like March, April, that time era when I was playing on the internet all the time. That hindered me greatly because I actually was gonna try and get this finished before the beta, basically, for Black Ops 6, whenever that does happen. I know it hasn't even been announced yet, but that was basically the idea. Now, I don't even know if I'll be able to get all of the Modern Warfare 3 weapons Borealis, because my goal is to at least get Borealis. I know I didn't get Dark Aether and Vanguard, even though I did enjoy Vanguard's armies to a point. That grind was just so abysmal that I didn't even want to bother. I did get a couple weapons just to kind of say, like, okay, yeah, to get an idea of how this is. I like Vanguard's zombies on paper. I think in execution it could have been done so much better. I do like roguelikes. I like the idea of roguelikes. Hell, my favorite, the Splatoon 3 DLC is a roguelike, and I love that DLC. The big problem with roguelikes is that it does very much punish you if you do make a mistake, or you don't know what you're doing. But, this whole idea of zombies is fun. I just definitely think it is not for everybody, and I understand that. I think blindly hating on something without giving it a try first is never the answer to solve a problem. I will say that till the day I die. It's why I've grown a distaste for Black Ops 3. It's not that Black Ops 3 is bad, or Black Ops 3 isn't good, or not fun. It's the fact that everyone treats Black Ops 3 like it's the standard, when we really should be looking back at just the baseline formula and saying, how can we improve upon it? Because for me, the baseline formula is what I'm doing right now. Just killing zombies with a gun in Call of Duty. That's really all I care about. I think the uniqueness of MWZ has been the fact that it is trying to do something different. And I think that the thing that it did different is still fun, albeit tedious to do post. Like, it's tedious to do because of the fact of it's an extraction-based thing. And I'm not a huge fan of DMZ. I definitely think it is fun and had the potential to do some fun things. I just personally never got into it. I never did any of the raids in Modern Warfare 2. I still want to, but I don't have people who still play Modern Warfare 2. I don't have anyone who's interested in doing those raids. I'm gonna take that because I don't know if I needed it or not. It is frost damage. Okay, that's what I thought. But, like, the extraction-based mechanics definitely hindered this mode's version of the mode's success. But I think if you took off every single player in this map, but kept it as is without the extraction-based nature of everything, like basically meaning you have to infill with something. Like if you just basically had us by default start us off with one of the random pistols, like a random pistol each time, and you basically had to be like, okay, here's the entire world, go do whatever you want, and basically made it like a gigantic zombies map with no real, like, just the general progression they have right now. I think it would be decently fun. But I think the fact that it's extraction based and you can choose what you load in with and all that, I definitely think it definitely kind of hurt it in a way. But at the same time, I do like loadouts. I think loadouts in Cold War were a nice change of pace. And I see the argument of people wanting to get just a starting pistol from like Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare or whatever game to come back, because it adds the level of like progression. And even then, you also have the issues like power creep, in the same sense of like there are going to be weapons that are going to stand out better than everything else. A lot of people say, well, if that weapon's good, don't nerf it, make everything else better. It's like, then you run into the problem of it's no longer fun. I think an example of this being is when they first initially nerfed shotguns in Black Ops 4, and it was like, oh, why'd they nerf all these things when it was perfectly fine as is? It's because there's a point where you have to realize that something being so strong it's the only option is not healthy. Bringing you down a little bit and then bringing everything else up to par with that new standard is better than bringing everything up to that high standard, because then at that point there's no point in playing if everything is easy. Game developers, when it comes to making games, maybe not necessarily Call of Duty's Treyarch and Infinity Ward Sledgehammer, they want you to have a challenge in some way, not necessarily be handed everything on a silver platter, right? It's why I stand by the fact of, like, Elden Ring is hard, not because the fact of the game is hard, because it is. It's because you can't just jump in and figure everything out and just end the game super easy. You have to learn how to play the game. Like, a lot of people say Elden Ring is the easiest Souls game. It's the easiest Souls game if you've played a Souls game before. If you've never played a Souls-like before, like I haven't, up until my read-review stream, you run into the problem of, it is so hard, it doesn't feel easy. And you get kind of misled at the fact of, oh, this is supposed to be easy? It's like, no, it's easy for a Souls-like. It's not an easy game. That's basically the best way to describe it, is you don't want things to be easy for everybody. You want things to be easy for old players and harder for new ones. That's why I think this mode is as fun as it is because veteran players, yeah, they don't like it that much, but at least the new players who want to experience zombies have something they can do where they can kind of shut their brain off a little bit and just chill. Because that's what zombies for me always was after, like, for a lot of the time outside of when it was like when I was playing it consistently in Cold War a crap load. Before I was basically grinding DM Ultra, when I wasn't grinding DM Ultra and I was playing zombies. Outside of the Easter eggs, I would literally just hop on old school zombies. That's why I want to get back into customs again. The reason why I haven't is because of my issue with storage on my PC. I need to get a hard drive. I'm still unemployed, by the way, so if you do want to support me in a personal way, go ahead and do so. But the main thing I liked about this is that even though it does have a lot of extractor shooter elements, the idea of, like, I'm just gonna play zombies so I want to turn my brain off. You could do that. And also, forgive me if I seem a little, like, annoyed or, like, if my models fidgets a little bit. I've been having some mild chest discomfort. I'd say pain, but that might seem like a little bit more alarming. It's more of discomfort. Tylenol makes it go away, and I think I just might be dehydrated. It's less stressed out. F5, that's in mid. Yeah, F5's in mid. But the main thing that I do love about just generally zombies is the fact that, again, if you don't want to do your Easter eggs, you don't have to. You can just kind of exist. That's my big problem with BO3. And I guess to a point, BO4, there was only a couple maps that this problem was, is that playing the game kind of progressing the map normally kind of shoehorned you into the Easter egg. Which, yeah, you could just not do it, but it's like, I'll use Horizon Drop as an example. It's like, oh, I have to unlock the pack punch. Okay, well now that I've unlocked the pack punch, I might as well feed the dragons. And it's like, oh, well, I'm feeding the dragons, so so I can get the bow, so I can get a really good wonder weapon. I might as well do all the stuff I need to do to get the I might as well do this. Might as well do that. Like, I think Horizon Rock may not be a great example of it, but you do get the idea. It's like, once you upgrade the bow, you kind of get the idea of, like, hey, I should just do the Easter egg. It's not that hard. And then you're kind of shoehorning into the Easter egg. Yeah, you could go up to the point where there's the boss fight, but at the same time, I still feel like, especially with, like, I think Horizon Rock, and actually, I think Origins is an even better example of this. Origins is like, oh, I'm gonna go get the staff so I can have a really good wonder weapon. It's like, well, now that I'm making this staff, I might as well upgrade it. And it's like, oh, now that I'm upgrading all these staffs, now that I'm upgrading this staff, I might as well upgrade all the others. It's a low enough round that I can do it. And then you kind of realize, like, oh, I'm just doing the Easter egg at this point, aren't I? And then you decide to do the Easter egg. Like, I think that isn't necessarily a problem with everybody. I think it's more or less a problem for a lot of different players, is like, a lot of the progression is tied to Easter egg steps, and then it's like, well, I've done this much, why not I just continue? And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I just think it can be a pushback for some people, is that it makes things overly complicated. On one hand, I do like how custom maps have done it, where by progressing the map normally and just unlocking Pack-a-Punch, you've completed maybe a step of the Easter egg, but then after that, you can, whether or not you want to engage with it is entirely up to you, and it doesn't necessarily kind of shoehorn you in. Unless the map is designed to be done with the Easter egg. For example of it is, I think Volkov is a map that I personally like. There is no proper Easter egg. There's an Easter egg song, but it's a very linear progressed map, and once you get to the end, it's basically the viable ending. I think viable ending maps are a little boring, but sometimes when you just want to play zombies and chill, those maps are nice, because it gives you a little bit of an end goal, and it gives you something to at least do, and just have fun and kill zombies and do stuff. But it still does have the issue of like, oh, this is just basically like Kino der Toten with a viable ending at that point. So trying to find something that is mechanically different enough from standard zombies, but isn't so overly complicated like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, you have to find a nice balance with that. That's the main thing, and this is sort of where I get into my hopes for Black Ops 6. And that is, I want the Easter egg and the main progression of the map to not be fully tied together to a point where it is like Black Ops 3. But I do want it to be a thing where if you want to engage with the main Easter egg, keyword, main Easter egg, it is not necessarily a toggleable thing, but a thing where it's like, oh, all I need to do is do this and I can do the main Easter egg. I think, for example, it's like Forsaken. You basically unlock Pack-a-Punch, and to do the main Easter egg is you press a button on the window that engages the Forsaken interaction at the very beginning of the Easter egg. Like, that's a perfect example of, like, you don't have to engage the Easter egg, but here's how you do if you want to. Not necessarily saying it should be exactly like that, but along the lines of, like, hey, the first step of the Easter egg is unlock Pack-a-Punch. Second step is do this. And it just instantly gets you into the Easter egg progression. My other hope is, I'm actually going to mimic what I saw on Twitter. A lot of people are complaining at the fact of like, oh, we want to start with a starting pistol, but you can choose to do so in Cold War. I think having the idea of both is not impossible. Since the fact that we're having a very World War II-esque idea of crews, where you can either have the set crew to get more lore, or choose any operator you want for the sake of like, hey, I bought a really cool skin for Woods. Or Adler, or whoever I'm playing as. I want to use that. You can, but you could still play as the main crew and get the lore. Like, I'll probably be mainly playing as the main crew because lore. But I think the idea of having both be an option, where you can either start the game with the starting pistol, or like a starting pistol that's kind of like pitiful and weak, that's maybe exclusive to zombies, kind of like how you have the Webley pistol in Black Ops 4, or something similar to it that is pitifully weak that could be Pack-a-Punched into like the Mustang and Sally's type thing, or have the option to grab your loadout at like a loadout locker is a good idea. I don't remember who I saw this, but I saw a couple people echo this on Twitter, so that's basically my ideal way of having a zombie map progress, is have a optional loadout if you want to hop right in and just get set up right out the gate in terms of like weaponry, but still have to earn the perks and everything like that and do all that. But if you just want to, and if you do like a Cold War Easter egg thing where you have the epic rarity upgrade, and they do end up doing something similar to that, have it be like, oh, if you choose to start with your pistol, it starts at that level, but if you choose to grab your loadout, it will upgrade it to, it won't upgrade to any higher rating. But if you have that Easter egg unlocked, it will give you the purple only if you grab the loadout. Maybe you add it as a toggleable thing where you can have it be just your pistol or just the loadout. I don't know. You get the idea. It's like having the ability to do either the bare minimum or be kitted out, I think, is something that should be an idea, or at least be on the table. Because again, having the ability of choice is fun when it comes to zombies especially. Overall, I think I want the Easter eggs to be somewhere in line with Black Ops 3 in terms of difficulty, where I think they should be soloable, maybe closer to Cold War. I know a lot of people say Cold War Easter eggs are easy, but I would say somewhere between Cold War and Black Ops 3, maybe somewhere closer to like Infinite Warfare, where it's like, it's going to test you and you have to be using some really good weapons, but it's not going to be like a slog like Vanguard's sometimes felt like, or World War II's, or even some of the other Infinite Warfare ones, like Attack the Radioactive Thing and Beast. Maybe something along the lines more like Raven the Redwoods, or Raven the Redwoods to Rise and Drock, like Garad Krovi level difficulty, where it's like, yeah, it's gonna challenge you and you have to be like semi-good at the game to do it, but if you know what you're doing, you're gonna succeed type thing. Oh, God. In terms of the maps, all I really ask is that the map's Wonder Weapon is fun, and not necessarily feel rewarding enough to use, but they're fun and easy to unlock for free. Because one of my big complaints is one of my favorite Wonder Weapons of all time, the Kraken, is very difficult to unlock for free. That isn't necessarily a complaint, it's just, if you don't know what to do and you don't know what you're looking for, yeah, it's kind of hard. I don't want it to be handed to players, I just want it to be like, if you know what you're doing, it can be done in, you could do it every game. But it's also, and it still gives you a significant challenge, but it's not so difficult that it's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I think a perfect example of like an easy to unlock Wonder Weapon that at least challenges you to some degree are like the bows and the staffs. Like, yeah, technically getting the base form of the bow and each of the staffs isn't hard. I think the upgrades for said staffs specifically are where I'm like, yeah, okay, this is reasonably easy to unlock. And if you know what you're doing, it can be done very easily. But if you don't, something like the fire bow is like, oh, how do I do this? I don't know what I'm doing. But I think another example of something else that I would like, and I can think of it right away, is, and I really hate the fact that I know it's not going to happen, but I can still hope, is I want the traditional point system back. Now, if you're new to zombies, you might be asking, what does traditional point system mean, or what are you talking about? You may notice the bottom left, you have my points, my essence value. And in Classic, basically, I think Infinite Warfare and earlier, points were earned, wow, of course, now when I need zombies for an example, I can't do it. Points were earned by doing the following thing. I'm going to show you how you can earn points. That doesn't really work. So, notice how I hit that zombie, and it didn't die immediately? But then whenever I only get points when I kill them in this. In classic games, if you're new to zombies, you don't know what I'm talking about. In classic games, every hit was 10 points. Every time you hit something with a bullet or a knife or anything, gave you 10 points. If you got a headshot, it was 100. If you got a melee kill, it was 130. And then with double points, you multiplied those values up. In everything, I believe, Black Ops 4 and onward, it was fixed point values. Basically meaning you could only get so many points per zombie by shooting them multiple times. Meaning if I did that, that would be like 30 or 40 points, and then by killing it, I would get the rest of them. And obviously, headshots was you still get more points for doing headshots, but you still get you get the idea. It was fixed point values. Same thing happened in Cold War. Same thing happened in Vanguard. Same thing is happening in this. Same thing happened in, I think, Vanguard and World War II as well. Maybe mainly just Vanguard, I think, though. I want the traditional point system back because I want to be able to run around with a very weak weapon. Let's say, for an example, like the Thompson from World at War, and just spray into a horde and maybe kill 1 or 2 zombies at like round 30 with an unpacked Thompson, but have enough points to be able to buy Jug. Or like, maybe not Jug, but like Speed Cola, or something that will eventually help me. Something that basically allows the progression of zombies to be done easier because the fact of I'm on a higher round and things aren't killing it as fast anymore. That's one of the reasons why I love going back to Black Ops 3, is a lot of people still use that traditional point system because it's the one that makes the most sense and works. Because you can use like that really weak pistol from the start shoot a zombie 8 times in the chest, and then knife them, and then lo and behold, you have ballparking math there. You have 210 points just from that. And if you do that to every single zombie in the round 1, you get 6 zombies. Do 6 times 210. You get the idea there. You get a lot of points by just min-maxing points. Like, yes, is this very hard to do if you don't know what you're... It's just a very weird, like, veteran zombies take. I would say so. But at the same time, it's like, if you know that much about zombies to be able to do that, I think at that point, it's like, why not? Also, I need to get 20 consecutive kills without taking damage. Okay. Just basically kill things without taking damage. That's easier said than done, honestly, in some cases. Thankfully, I'm just going to try and do some contracts to try and help make this a little bit easier. That's the one I'm worried about when it comes to taking damage, are those dogs, because they can close this very quickly and those fire pools count. I do need a large bag, but I'm gonna hunt one myself. I don't mind handouts, I just don't like doing them. Like, if I find one on the ground because someone dropped it, sure, I'll take it. But if I am being handed one, unless it's like a friend of mine, I don't like doing it. Trying to think of other things. I guess here's an obvious one, because this is more of a me thing. Because it's one of the things I love doing in past Zombies games up until this point. Please have Kevin Sherwood make an Easter egg song. At least for one of them. It doesn't have to be Alina back. It doesn't have to be Maluka or Clark. Just have Kevin Sherwood make an Easter egg song again. I miss them. We haven't had one since Cold War. And it's like, I know that's like, doesn't seem like it was that far away, but you wanna know what the last Easter egg song we had was? The last Easter egg song we had, technically, was lost in Firebase Z in 2021. Technically 2020, I think. No, 2021. Because it was, I did the Easter egg hunt on my birthday. My 21st birthday. So, yeah, I know that's a weird ask, a very specifically weird ask, but I miss it, man. It's one of my favorite things about Zombies was the Easter egg songs. We have amazing songs like 115, Archangel, Abracadaver, just to name a few, just off the top of my head, that I could think of. And Cold War gave us Outbreak, which allows us to have instrumental versions of these things that were like, that name is making me unreasonably angry, by the way. I hate that. But I want a new Easter egg song. Like, hell, I think we got a variant of that Easter egg song return in one of the rifts. Or not one of the rifts, but like one of the Dark Aether portals. I think you can like have 115 play in the Season 2 rift, which I think is this one, I think. The one that's like the football field in Urzikstan. Or not Urzikstan, in Al Mazrah. Whichever one that is. I think that's Season 2's. But yeah, like I love, and even then it's like you may have noticed I didn't do a lot of Zombies videos on Modern Warfare Zombies, because most of it is just me doing this, just running around killing zombies, not doing much else. Maybe doing bounties, hunting for the other items for contracts and stuff like that, and then occasionally having somebody drag me into a Dark Aether Rift for the upgrades in Dark Aether Rift. I haven't done any of the Act 4 stuff, as you saw me do at the beginning. I just haven't. Not because I didn't want to, not because anything like that. It's because I want to do them with group, because from what I've been told, they are kind of difficult. And I suck. I'm going to be flat out honest, I'm washed. But on the same token, as well, I do like the unique nature of things like I do like I want to kind of touch on this as well, is when it comes to side Easter eggs, because I mentioned earlier that when I said main Easter egg, I want it to be separate from the map itself. I want to specify by saying I don't want side Easter eggs to be... I don't want Easter eggs to be locked to main Easter egg progression. I want side Easter eggs to either help or be part of the main quest without progressing the main quest. So, for example, and I think this is a very good example, is something like unlocking the free wonder weapon of the map is an optional part of the Easter egg, main Easter egg, that it, or the wonder weapon is required for the Easter egg, and it just requires you to obtain it, not or obtain an upgrade, not necessarily, like. So, for example, I think it's actually a really good example is the Blundergat slash Magmagat slash Acidgat slash the Mob of the Dead wonder weapon. Wonder weapons, I guess. Because you also have the Hell's Retriever. Those don't I don't remember, it has been a minute. I don't recall if those technically... Woo, okay, that was a little close. I don't recall if those technically needed to be obtained for the main quest. The Hell's Retriever did, I remember that. I don't remember if the Magmagat or Blundergat did. I know it was this big help, I just don't remember if it was required. Similarly on Mob of the Dead, I think it was, like, helpful, but not required. I'll take that for the... I'll take that so I have it in my stash, I guess. Interesting, more is in there.
I'll get us
there. But like, I'd love to have it be like the one weapon, the free wonder weapon. Like, let's say the Kraken Easter egg from the Kraken Easter egg from. Oh god, I shouldn't have looked at the menu, and I'm doing a contract that has a fail state. Like the Kraken Easter egg in Voyage of Despair. I like that because it's like, do you need the Kraken for the Easter egg? I believe so. I haven't done the Easter egg in a hot minute. And even if you don't, it is very, very good to have for the Easter egg because of its overall stopping power. Even though it's not really a real term, you get the idea. It's a powerful weapon that, if used for the Easter egg, is very, very good, but is not required to progress the Easter egg. It is just very good for the Easter egg. At least I believe it's not required. I very well could be wrong. So I would love to have the side Easter eggs and stuff like that not be locked, or not, well, no, maybe not all of them. Obviously, some of them I do like the idea of, like, certain ones being progressed for the Easter egg. So, like, obviously, like, main quest Easter egg, if you're doing, like, the Wonder Weapon, free Wonder Weapon, it's like, hey, the Wonder Weapon helps you progress the map in general. Sure, fine. That's, okay, I know I kind of just said I don't want it to. I don't want it to be a thing where, to get the free Wonder Weapon, you have to do the Easter egg. So, I think a good example of this is the Alpha Omega Easter egg, where you get the free Ray Gun Mark II's upgrades, because I believe that does require you to talk to Rushmore, which, yes, is part of the Easter egg. I know technically a lot of people will say, oh, you don't talk to Rushmore after you upgrade the ray guns. Talking to Rushmore is still the first step of the Easter egg after Pack a Punch. That's not necessarily the greatest example of what I mean, but it's like, that's sort of just the idea is, I don't want to interact, if I don't want to interact with the Easter egg whatsoever, I just want to load up the map and go kill zombies and grind camos. I don't want to have to interact with anything else other than Pack a Punch, power, and like the mystery box and perks, maybe the free wonder weapon, or anything of that nature. I don't want to interact with the main quest unless I'm going out of my way to do the main quest. Another great example. Actually, here's a perfect example of this: the Crystal Axe in Forsaken. You need to get the Crystal Axe for free. You need to progress the Easter egg somewhat. I think. Right? No, you don't. Never mind. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm gonna go until you get Jackrabbit Medal, and then I'm gonna get hit, and then go again. Or else get hit now, and then go again. How much time do I have left? I have 13 minutes. Post Exfil's right there. There is Deadshot right there. Where's Jug? Liquefied's right there. Jug is nowhere to be found. I don't need it. We'll do... Let's go to that Merc camp and that bounty.
Contract here.
Because I do want to get my my thing up so I can grind out cannons a little easier. Thankfully, after this, it's just all Pack-a-Punch related, unless except for the Mono for 2 ones. But again, it's like I love zombies. This is my bread and butter mode. This is the mode that I love so much, and this is the mode that I refuse to let. This is the mode that I think Call of Duty needs to remember is where a lot of bread and butter of the community plays COD for. And I think the fact of the matter is doing something different is good unless people are starting to dislike it. There we go. That's exactly what I needed. Because on one hand, again, I really like I like how they've tried new things. I like Outbreak. I think a lot of things that they've tried to do that are similar to Outbreak are fun. I understand that it's not for everybody. What I think Activision, Treyarch, and everyone who works on zombies needs to do is still give people, no matter what, have round-based be the focus and have these alternate mode ideas be a secondary idea. Kind of like how we have with Vanguard, where we had the roguelike mode, and then we had the 2 round-based maps that, yes, they were essentially the same maps from Durang Fung and, what was the second one called? Terra Maledicta, right? Yeah, Terra Maledicta was the second map, and then we had Shinonuma Reborn, and then the Archon. Which I did. I know I haven't done the Easter egg for the Archon yet. I just watched the cutscene. That Easter egg is annoyingly difficult for no reason. Actually, it's seal. Oh. No one's did this yet. Awesome! I can do this. I'll upgrade it for the seal for anyone who needs it. Watch this be the final one, and this sort of unlocks the rift for somebody. I'd be okay with that, honestly, because I already have my camo. There's no reason of doing it other than refreshing your stuff, and I personally have no reason to do that. Okay, bugger off. We have 2. Yeah, that worked out. Guys, how many people are even left in the game? Oh, that's a good chunk.
Strike team, get more action. We need evac ASAP.
But yeah, like, I want to enjoy zombies and have unique takes and different ideas for the mode without it breaking too far away from the formula, because I do like when they try unique things. I liked Outbreak. I liked Vanguard on paper. I liked things such as, like, this on paper. I think these ideas that they're coming up with are great. I just don't think they work for the mode as a whole without the baseline of round-based still being there as an option for those players. And it's part of the reason why that's with the rumor of cross progression not carrying forward, or carry forward not coming back. I'm very much like, well, I might as well try and at least get every single weapon gold. That way I can say I did it. I need to be cola desperately. But again, it's like you get the idea. It's like I want the mode to be fun and innovative and not be the same thing over and over again. But I do understand that round-based is the if it ain't broken, don't fix it type idea. And I do agree with that. I just think that the community should not be so dismissive of, oh, it's not round-based, it's cringe type beat, you know? Because I think the reason why we felt so burned out and found other things like Exos and Infinite Warfare Zombies bad, outside of them not being nowhere near as good as Treyarch and or being more annoying than Treyarch, for the sake of in the case of Exos, is because they were just carbon copies. Giving us something different with each take, something like World War II Zombies, for example, I think is great because the fact of it had a unique difference about it, that being it was difficult as a solo player. Don't get me wrong, I'm a solo player and I despise how hard World War II Zombies was sometimes, at least for their Easter eggs. Hi there, random player, Jesus. But then looking at something like Infinite Warfare, it's like the only unique thing that Infinite Warfare really did was make a really good super Easter egg. But other than that, it was just like, oh, neat. Okay, I think this player can't come here to either steal my kills or leave. What I might do is, where is the... I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. There's no way I'm gonna get this done in 5 minutes with this guy here. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go for the extraction one. So if I get there, I'll be able to do this without any issue at all. Albeit it will be a little bit harder. I just need to make sure I stop and get Jug along the way, which I think is... I'll probably just run into 2, 3 at the Wonder Fizz.
So, long line at security?
But I think having something... Sorry, I got sidetracked because of the guy stealing all my kills. I think having something different and unique to each iteration of zombies is something that is going to only help the mode. I don't think people realize that that's kind of the idea that a lot of people like me want, is we don't want the same thing over and over again, and we're not trying to ruin the experience for everyone else when we say, oh, we want more stuff like Outbreak. We want the option for people to have both. I understand that takes a lot of development time, and that can cost a lot of money in a lot of cases. Devil Dog actually left. I could go back. I don't think I'm gonna have time anyway, so it's fine. But still, I like the idea of having... I still like the idea of having the option of... I still like having the option / idea of having a round-based zombies map and then a objective-based experience on that same zombie map as a toggleable option / a separate mode. Because I think it would be interesting. It would be fun. I think it would be unique to have something different for each iteration of zombies, to have something new and refreshing, while still giving people the option of like, oh, I want to turn my brain off and just play round-based. Which, believe me, I'm one of those people too. I don't like doing maps like... I don't like doing all of these overly elaborate maps all the time, because sometimes they could just be not enough. Also, this is out of fuel. I only just now noticed. Epic. I really hope I'm not getting sick. Suck. I think my a lot of my health problems right now are just based around stress. Because of course they are. But yeah, the main thing is I like being able to do something new and different each iteration of zombies without it ruining the overall experience. That's why I like Outbreak, because you know what you could do if you don't like Outbreak? Not play it! It drives me mad that these people, like people who are like haters on unique ideas and modes, their number one reason, they make it seem like you're forced to engage with it. Like, for Cold War, Outbreak was very useful for getting your upgrades faster because it gave you more like crystals to upgrade your perks and your weapons and stuff like that more consistently. But if you didn't want to engage with Outbreak, you could just play normally. Like, yes, Outbreak is made to be a thing that is engaged with. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to engage with it. And I know that is very much of the mindset of the EA developers that don't like it, don't play it. But here's the thing. He's kind of right. I know that's not necessarily great from a marketing standpoint and kind of ruins the idea of everything, but I agree with him in the sense of, if you don't like something, why are you still engaging with it and ruining it for everyone else? Like, if you don't like something, just say, I don't like this thing. Could you try and, like, give actual constructive criticism and say, could we maybe try and do this? And if they said it, if they are, and they take the feedback in, let them take the feedback and then move on. Don't try and ruin everyone else by saying, oh, this is bad because this, or this is bad because this. It's like, at that point, you're just rooting for everyone else, you know? Also, I need to book it in here because I don't have I don't have Jug. See Jug and Speakola. And Deadshot. Let's get them all, fuck it. Perk up.
Marking extraction zone.
Back is at mid. I don't have the weapon for this. My weapon is great here, I just noticed. Ugh. Okay. You're leaving. Stopping at the nearest buy station to buy another self, and I'm leaving. Buy a gassy too, just so we can have it. Like, here's for example what I mean when I say modern point system would be great. Is all of that, I probably would have gotten enough points to be able to buy, like, another pack punch upgrade for another gun. But because it's this new system. Run, run, run. Okay. Phew. Okay. I just need to get out of this fucking shithole. Okay. Just keep running, just keep running, just keep running, just keep running, just keep running.
Marking extraction zone.
Woo! Yeah, anyway. But you get the idea. It's like, I want more unique things to go with for zombies, and I want them to still be people who still want the experience that is round-based to have something to do that isn't something like Vanguard or this, for example. Like, because I understand this isn't for everybody. I'm gonna play my luck, 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 play my luck. Let's go gambling! Oh, dang it! Let's go. What the? Let's go gambling.
Western fire mission. Target more.
Copy that. Order strike in Valta.
Yeah! Oh, it's fun. This is why I like zombies sometimes, man. I'm going around that. Get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out! But again, I understand this modes like this aren't for everybody, but I still want us to have something that's optional. That's why I do like Vanguard on paper. It was fun. I just think overall, having that be the only experience is just not great.
What was that?
Also, I'm not going to cover the entire thing of this entire Act 1. We've already done this once or twice. So, yeah. But regardless, I just want to basically get my point across that, again, it's like, I understand modes like Modern Warfare 3 zombies aren't for everybody, but I think giving us the option of doing an objective-based thing or, like, an Outbreak-styled mode is fun if round-based is still an option. That's why I stand by saying Cold War is the best zombie experience for both new and veteran players, because there is something for everybody. You have Rampage Inducer for the hardcore players that they really want to challenge. Like, Rampage Inducer boss fights are something I've wanted to do for a while as like a test of actual, like, skill, and I've failed every single time. But then you have something like, oh, I don't know,
50 seconds out. Be ready to roll.
just Outbreak in general. basically shooting the beacon every single time you want to teleport, which makes you skip waves, which essentially just progresses you faster. But yeah, that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna continue to get this thing unlocked, Golden Enigma, yeah. Basically, this is my, if I can summarize my wish list for Black Ops 6 Zombies, it's traditional point system, optional loadouts and or a starting pistol for every single map, the return of Easter egg songs, and then basically like more quality of life / changes to the main Easter egg that make it not feel as required for map progression, I guess. And then obviously a mode for everybody to enjoy that is not like a objective-based mode that is different from round-based, but is optional to engage with. Maybe like Rush or Gauntlet type thing. Those are kind of like the, not necessarily that in terms of difficulty, but like that idea of like, hey, these are the things you can do, here's the rewards you get from them, but they're not required for you to do it. You don't have to engage with them, you know? That being said, thank you guys for watching. I know this is basically about an hour of me ranting and just running around playing zombies, but I like doing these sometimes, you know? But yeah, I'll see you guys next time to make. Have a good day, buddy, and stay safe.